Hey there, history buffs, and welcome back to Tactical History. Today we're diving headfirst into the turbulent waters of the American Civil War. And let me tell you, folks, the story we're about to unravel is nothing short of astonishing. Picture this: it's the fall of 1862, and things are looking pretty grim for the Union. The year started with high hopes, but a series of catastrophic mistakes turned the tide against them. Confederates, led by the formidable Robert E. Lee, were scoring one victory after another. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, an unexpected twist of fate occurred. On a fateful day in September, a humble Union Army corporal stumbled upon an envelope. Inside that envelope lay not just 3 cigars, but a set of orders that would change the course of history forever. These weren't just any orders. These were Special Orders number 191. And what those orders revealed, my friends, was nothing short of a game changer for the Union cause. So gear up, because today we're delving deep into this unbelievable plot twist that saved the Union from the brink of disaster. Get ready for a roller coaster ride through history that you won't want to miss. But before we jump into the heart of this incredible story, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell because we're about to uncover secrets, unravel mysteries, and relive history in all of its glory. This is the Tactical Historian, and we're about to embark on an adventure you'll never forget. So without farther ado, let's dive right in. Before we plunge headlong into the gripping tale of Special Orders number 191, let's set the stage and paint a vivid picture of the Civil War landscape in 1862. So the year 1862 was a pivotal moment in American history. For the Union, it was a year of both hope and despair. It all began, promisingly enough, with a campaign to capture the Confederate capital of Richmond. But alas, despite their initial optimism, the Union forces encountered a series of devastating setbacks. What should have been a decisive campaign turned into a fiasco, sapping the Union's confidence. And then the Confederates, under the brilliant leadership of General Robert E. Lee, dealt a crushing blow by humiliating the Union in the Battle of Second Bull Run. As if that wasn't enough, Lee's Army of Northern Virginia boldly invaded the Union state of Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine the tension in the air. The Union was on the brink of collapse, with foreign powers like Britain and France hovering on the edge of recognizing the Confederacy's independence. It was at this very moment, with the fate of the nation hanging in the balance, that a twist of fate was about to take center stage. Stay with us because it's about to get even more intriguing. This is Tactical History, and we're about to uncover the unexpected find that changed the course of the U.S. Civil War forever. So, folks, as we immerse ourselves in this incredible story, I want you to keep in mind the sheer magnitude of what was at stake during this pivotal year. It's a story filled with twists, turns, and unbelievable surprises, and it all starts with that seemingly ordinary envelope. Stay tuned, because you won't believe how this unfolds. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful September day in 1862, the atmosphere in this Union camp was thick with tension. The flickering campfires cast eerie shadows, and the hushed whispers of soldiers hung in the air like a shroud of uncertainty. Union Corporal Barton Mitchell, like many others that evening, had no idea what he was about to stumble upon, something that would change the course of history. Imagine, for a moment, the weight of the world resting on his shoulders, and the palpable sense of impending doom that surrounded him. And then, in a moment of sheer serendipity, Corporal Mitchell's fingers brushed against something hidden deep within his coat pocket, a weathered envelope. It was the kind of moment that legends are made of, folks. You see, earlier that day, as the Union forces set up camp, Mitchell noticed the envelope in the tree line. As a non-commissioned officer in the Army, Corporal Mitchell was busy directing his men as to the setup of their camp, assigning duty stations, and dictating watches for the evening. In the chaos of the day, and No doubt his mind also drifting towards the tides of war and how they were not going in favor of the Union, Mitchell placed the envelope in his pocket, assuming that it was a letter to a loved one dropped by one of his men. With that thought, he figured that he would just read it later and return it to whoever had lost it. Corporal Mitchell, upon closer inspection, realized that the envelope itself, folks, bore the faded insignia of the Confederacy. Its edges frayed with time, and its creases telling tales of long and treacherous journeys, but it was what lay within that envelope that would send shockwaves through the annals of history. 3 cigars, tightly nestled within those papers, might have seemed like a meager find to some, but little did Corporal Mitchell know that he had just stumbled upon something far more valuable than gold. These cigars concealed a secret that held the fate of nations in its grip. Now, my dear viewers, this is where the plot thickens and the intrigue reaches its zenith. What secrets did those seemingly innocent cigars and papers hold? What hidden truths were about to be unveiled? Okay, so we've set the stage. We've discovered the mysterious envelope, and now it's time to unveil the astonishing revelation that unfolded from within those concealed papers. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this, Special Orders number 191, a document that would become a linchpin in the saga of the American Civil War. Now, let's delve into the heart of this incredible revelation. Special Orders number 191, penned by none other than General Robert E. Lee himself, were nothing short of a military treasure trove. Within these hallowed orders lay a meticulously detailed account of Lee's army's movements, a roadmap, if you will, of Confederate strategy. It laid out troop dispositions, routes, and plans of Lee's forces. It was as if the enemy had unwittingly handed over their battle plan to the Union on a silver platter. But here's the kicker, my friends, the element that truly boggles the mind. General George B. McClellan, the man at the helm of the Union Army, could scarcely believe his eyes when he laid them on those orders. McClellan, who had been plagued by missed opportunities and hesitations, was suddenly faced with the shockingly clear picture of his adversary's vulnerable position. It was as though the heavens themselves have bestowed upon him an unexpected golden opportunity, a chance to strike at the scattered Confederate units before they could reunite. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the ultimate twist of fate. McClellan, often criticized for his cautious approach, now had the upper hand. The destiny of nations hung in the balance, and the Union's hopes for survival rested squarely on his shoulders. So what did McClellan do with the newfound advantage? How did the unfolding drama play out on the battlefield? Well, stay with us because we're going to take you right into the heart of the action where history was made and legends were born. Okay, now, dear viewers, we find ourselves at a crossroads in our tale, a moment where history teetered on a knife's edge and the fate of the Union hung in the balance. General George B. McClellan, holding the precious Special Orders number 91 in his hands, stood at a pivotal juncture. The world was watching, and the weight of history bore down upon him. But, alas, my friends, despite the golden opportunity that had fallen into his lap, McClellan found himself paralyzed by indecision. The clock ticked, and time slipped through his fingers like grains of sand. In his mind, he no doubt wondered if the age-old saying of "it's too good to be true, then it probably is," was true in this situation. Had the information been placed at their camp by a spy with the intent of misleading Union troops, or worse yet, leading them into a trap? Little did he know that the famed document was accidentally dropped by a messenger when he simply stopped for a bathroom break. I imagine that the suggestion of such an event is far less believable than misdirection from the Confederate spies, but alas, that is exactly what happened. He hesitated when decisive action was needed most. He failed to seize the moment when history beckoned him to greatness. And as the hours turned into days, Robert E. Lee, ever the shrewd tactician, grasped the lifeline McClellan had unwittingly given him. Lee, a masterful chess player, swiftly moved his scattered units, gathering them into a formidable force once more. McClellan's golden opportunity slipped away as Lee's army coalesced. But here's the real kicker, my friends. The stage was set for an epic showdown. A battle of titanic proportions was about to unfold, a battle that would forever be etched into the annals of history. As the Union and the Confederate forces converged on the fields near Antietam Creek, the tension was palpable. The stakes were sky high and the fate of the nation hung in the balance. The bloodiest day in American history was about to commence. So stay tuned, my friends, because we're diving headfirst into the heart of the Battle of Antietam, a battle that would go down in history as a day of unimaginable sacrifice, courage, and heroism. So the stage was set for what would become one of the most harrowing and pivotal moments in American history, the Battle of Antietam.
As night drew nearer, whispers of a great battle to be fought the next day grew louder, and we shuddered at the prospect, for battles had come to mean to us as they never had before: blood, wounds, and death.
Okay, picture this, dear viewers, a sprawling battlefield bathed in the eerie light of dawn, as thousands of Union and Confederate soldiers clashed in a brutal dance of death. The air was thick with the acrid smell of gunpowder and the deafening roar of cannons. Men, young and old from both sides, were locked in a deadly embrace, their lives hanging by a thread. The casualties, my friends, were nothing short of staggering. Over 22,000 souls will be counted among the dead, the wounded, and the missing. When the dust finally settled, the field, once serene and untouched, became a stark testament to the horrors of war. But what about the outcome of this brutal clash? What were the consequences of this day of bloodshed and sacrifice? Well, in a letter to his mother, Private George W. Whitman of the 51st New York Infantry wrote, "The creek was literally red with blood in places, and I could have walked on dead bodies without a step. And in some places, you could not tell whether the gray coats or blue coats were most numerous." With almost 23,000 casualties, the Battle of Antietam would go down as the bloodiest single-day battle ever fought in American history. There was more pain and suffering on that battlefield in Maryland than any other single place in the United States. It was a battle that would not be forgotten by either side, and I wonder how that played a part in the rest of the war. My dear viewers, the Battle of Antietam proved to be a double-edged sword. While General McClellan had a chance to deliver a decisive blow to Lee's army, he failed to do so, allowing the Confederate forces to escape back into Virginia. Nonetheless, the horrific casualties suffered on that fateful day had a profound effect. It ended Lee's Maryland campaign and forced him to withdraw into Virginia. The Confederates never came as close again to winning the war as they did on that September day of 1862. Ladies and gentlemen, Antietam marked a turning point in the Civil War. It brought international attention to the conflict and, most importantly, halted foreign recognition of the Confederacy. The Union's ability to withstand the onslaught and its newfound resolve breathed new life into their cause. So as we look upon the hallowed ground of Antietam, we remember the sacrifices made on that blood-soaked day, and we honor the bravery of those who fought. This battle, with all of its horrors, would shape the destiny of a nation. But as the smoke cleared over the battlefield of Antietam and the wounded were tended to, the full weight of what had transpired became painfully clear. The Battle of Antietam, the bloodiest day in American history, left an indelible mark on our nation. The intermediate aftermath of this brutal clash witnessed a Confederate withdrawal, their dreams of victory slipping through their fingers. In the wake of the Battle of Antietam, the Confederates never again came as close to tasting the fruits of triumph. But the significance of this battle extended far beyond the battlefield. You see, my dear viewers, the casualties at Antietam shocked the world. The grisly images and harrowing tales that emerged from that day had a profound impact. Foreign recognition of the Confederacy was halted in its tracks. But now let's take a step back and reflect on this incredible story. A story that began with a humble Union corporal stumbling upon an envelope filled with cigars and secret orders. What this tale underscores, my friends, is the remarkable role that chance and serendipity can play in history. Corporal Mitchell's discovery of Special Orders Number 191, the unexpected find that changed the course of the U.S. Civil War, reminds us that sometimes the most extraordinary events can hinge on the smallest of details. So what are the key takeaways from this incredible story? It's a reminder that history is often shaped by unexpected twists and turns. It's a testament to the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought on that hallowed ground, and it's a lesson in the power of determination and resolve. As we delve into the annals of history, my hope is that you, dear viewers, gain deeper appreciation for the complexities and nuances that have shaped our world. The past is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless stories, and each one, no matter how small, contributes to the grand narrative. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey through time. If you found this video as fascinating as I did, please remember to hit that like button. Subscribe for more captivating historical tales, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. This has been The Tactical Historian, uncovering the stories that shaped our world. Until next time, stay curious, stay fascinated, and keep exploring the fascinating world of history. Signing off. I'll see you in the next one.